Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope you're enjoying your day and this beautiful weather we're having. On today's video, we're going to dive deep into the rarities, randomness, oddities, and just randomness of the WWE collectible items that WWE puts out. As you can see here, they used to be called WWF. That was a whole big ordeal with the World Wildlife Federation in the early 2000s. That's why they rebranded. Without further ado, guys, we're going to get into the figure. We're going to talk about them, we're going to review them, and we're going to talk about them. This is a Sable WWF action figure, and they called these 38 Special. Really no rhyme or reason to them. They don't even look like they got articulation to them. They're just kind of statuesque type figures made for collectible purposes. As you can see, she's got a little extras with her. And at the time when she was in the WWF, WWE, she was very revolutionary for her character in women's wrestling. So it's always good to admire her in action figure form. The next thing up, guys, got a little something special from the 2019 WWE video game, Ric Flair Special Edition. And that being a clam shell case of a replica piece of his robe, which is pictured here. Got a nice little photograph there of the Nature Boy back in the day wearing this robe. And on the back here, we got another glamour shot. Picture of him wearing the robe with some Lego mumbo jumbo down there. So along with that, we also got in that set his replica WWE Hall of Famer ring. And I'm sure this was made to generic size because it's pretty big. It won't even fit my finger. It's pretty loose. So it's probably just made for replica size. I highly doubt his finger's that huge. But you never know, guys. Next thing up is not something so much of a rarity, a Funko Pop. This one being Sting. And the reason why I chose to put in this video is because his action figures and licensed WWE stuff is actually pretty rare. He was not in WWE but for a year or so, and then before he got injured and decided to leave. So it's very fun to find his action figures and collectibles out there in the wild. Little glamour shot of the Funko Pop there, as you can see. And then on the back here, glamour shot of them here and here. And then it shows a little bit about who was in the collection at the time. I have about 5 or 6 of these in different superstars. I figured this was the best rarity one to showcase. So I figured it was pretty cool as I'm knocking things over. The next thing is also not a huge rarity. It's the Beyond the Mat documentary from it was a private documentary guy that did this. I forget who it was, but he basically just documented Mankind's career, Terry Funk's career, there's China, and The Rock's career at the time during the late 90s, and just talked about the ins and outs of the wrestling world. As you can see there, guys, you can pause that and read that on your own time. It gives a little dialogue what the movie's about, documentary is about. The next one up is the Real American Beer, Hulk Hogan beer, that is. I had the opportunity to meet him about a month ago at a random, really random grocery store around me. And as you can see here, I got his autograph. I do have a picture as well of him. It was a cool opportunity to meet him. He didn't really talk too much, but it was still cool to meet him. It's a little fun little item there. The next thing we got is some comic books. WWE Superstars written by bestseller Mick Foley. Little artwork here, John Cena and Mark Henry. And on the flip side, we got Mark Henry versus John Cena as an alternative cover. We're going to flip it back in over, take a peek inside, show you what it's all about. As you can see there, just standard comic book form, telling a story. Nothing too special or unique there. Just a rarity because you don't see WWE doing much of these comic books. Another comic book we have here is the Undertaker comic book. I'm a huge Undertaker fan, so this is quite awesome in my opinion. It's pretty cool to see, pretty cool to have. And this is a newer one, as you can see by the inside pages. Just like the last one we looked at. It does have a retro cover on it though, from back in the 90s. And then here on the back of it, it does show an alternative cover slash series. So that's always pretty cool to see and look at. Get this out of the way. Next one up, going with the autographs here, is Jim Ross's Under the Black Hat biography. Awesome biography. Goes into the life and times of one of the greatest commentary man that called wrestling in the modern times. I ordered this off his website, and as you can see, he did take the time to personally write out an autograph, which is awesome. Yes, that is my real name. So hi guys, it's the first time I'm revealing it on the channel. Probably won't be the last, obviously, now that you guys know it. Another item that I thought was pretty cool there. Pretty cool to have, pretty cool to see. Going back to the Undertaker here, we got... I'm sorry, guys. I was having issues there. Going back to the Undertaker, we got the Unmatched Fury. Undertaker, kind of statue-ish figure here. Nothing too special. A little glamour shot there. Another glamour shot on the back, and it also shows who came in the series. You got Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Rob Van Dam, and the Undertaker himself. This was made by Jakks Pacific. Came out probably about mid-2000s, I would say. And then here we got a little diagram of the Undertaker and who he is and where he's from. Pretty cool to see, pretty cool to love, as you can imagine. The next one is also the Undertaker. This is the WWF Heroes of Wrestling Edition figure. And as you can see, it's from the early 90s, if not late 90s. A little beat up. I got this at a flea market. Thought it was pretty cool. Got some randomness on it. Don't know what that was all about. As you can see here, it includes Psycho Sid and Undertaker in the series. Collect entire set. Most detailed 9-inch action figure in the world. The Heroes of Wrestling. The closest thing to real all-star wrestling action as you can get. Each sold separately. Subject to availability. This was made by Playmate Toys here, as you can see. And then it says, collect them all. Now you can own the Undertaker's over 14-inch tall with amazing detail. The talking Undertaker says 2 different phrases: rest in peace and face your worst nightmares. Now the Face of Fury one that we reviewed right before this does not do talking, so it's interesting to know that this does talking, and it's fun to see. Does it still work? Your guess is as good as mine. This is going to stay in the box because it's a 101, mint on card, or decently on card, as they would say. A little glamour shot of Undertaker with some information about who he is. Always good to see. Next up in the video, guys, we got the Mankind lunchbox. I actually own two of these. One's sealed. This one I picked up at the flea market. And I thought it was pretty cool. I'm not much of a lunch box type of guy, but it's wrestling related, so I had to have it. Nice little glamour shot in the Funko form of Mankind. This did come with a Funko Pop, I think a Mr. Sacco, and some other memorabilia. The one that I have here that's open did not have anything in it. Another glamour shot of Mankind himself with Mr. Sacco on there. Pretty cool to have, pretty cool to see. Next up, we have what is referred to as the Maximum Sweat figures. As you can see, they're made to be more cartoonish, more action-y like, and more, you know, not real life aspects. So the whole cool thing behind this was, as you can see, this is Triple H here, Mankind, with good old Mr. Sacco. The whole inspiration behind this was just something fun to do for the action figure line. You basically would put some water in here and pump it, and they would sweat. I don't have water currently next to me to test that out, but that just gives you an idea of what to expect from the toys. Pretty cool. Pretty short series, but pretty cool series. There's a Kane figure that is extremely hard to find that actually his mask removes and it shows like a burnt face, so it was pretty cool to see back then, because back then we didn't know what Kane looked like. Along with that, we do have a sealed Maximum Sweat Stone Cold Steve Austin. I ran across this a couple years ago randomly. They are hard to come by sealed. As you can see, it comes with little accessories, baseball bat, hat, Stone Cold and Stone Cold Fashion here. And then we got the little water bottle that you would put the water in to put the water in the figure to make it sweat. Always cool to see. And then this just shows you a sign of the times, the lines that was out. That's the Maximum Sweat series. You got The Rock, Kringle, Big Show, Boss Man, Mankind, and Steve Austin. There was also another line of these Maximum Sweat ones that was pretty cool. As you can see, it says Series 3. And then we got Titantron Live, different figures there, a couple play sets. It's cool to see. I do remember having this packaging of Ring when I was growing up. Did that Ring survive? Being 6 years old, 9 years old? No, not at all. Don't have it. I do have a couple play sets that are coming at some point in time, and I'll probably review them on the channel here. And they're the Buried Alive and the Inferno playset. So I thought that was pretty cool. When I seen that, I'm like, I never remember that, so I had to grab it up. Little unique rarities there. The next thing and the last thing in this series is going to be the WWE Teeny Mates collectible figures. This was, again, basically a game that could be played. Comes with little different figures of all modern day superstars in 2010s. This does have Sting in it, which is pretty cool to see. And the reason why I grabbed it is because it's just a rarity. You don't really see them nowadays. And you would cut out the back of this and kind of play it from there. It does have an exclusive glow in the dark Andre the Giant. He does not glow in the dark, though. I don't know if he's just been oversaturated in light or what with that. So it's cool to see that. It's cool to have that. It's a different item you don't see too often. One last thing I actually forgot is another random item that they did here. Was this. I always thought they were poker like chips because that's what they resemble. But basically what you do here, guys, is you stack them up And there's this ball that came with like a starter pack that you ran into them and they went all over the place like that. And whoever knocked the most over won, essentially. And that's what this little booklet describes and tells you. I'm not going to read it over, but it basically just tells you the rules and the obligations of the game itself, which is pretty cool to see. With that being said, guys, I do hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. I know it was nice and short and to the point. I know it was WWE related. But again, I do appreciate all the love and feedback I have been getting with the channel. And the growth of the channel. Just in a couple days, got some new subscribers. So that's awesome to see. With that being said, guys, stay tuned for more pop culture madness. And don't forget to like, subscribe for more.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go